By the right of the council, by the will of the Force. Welcome back into another great episode of the galaxy-famous, Halcyon-approved Jedi Talk podcast. 2/3 of the council are here today. Well, all of the high and regular council, I should say, are here in spirit, in the Force. You'll hear Brad's thoughts on today's Mandalorian episode a little bit later in between the episode. He's sent them in. He's not here with us in Florida right now, but we did not want to not talk about the second to last episode of The Mandalorian for season 3, because boy oh boy, and I'm looking at my co-host to the right of me, did we get an episode. But before I introduce the other part of the council here today, please go follow us on Instagram at Jedi Talk Podcast, youtube.com/Jedi Talk. We might be on TikTok. I don't know if we're keeping up with that, but if you see Jedi Talk, you see the blue, you're going to give it a follow. That's what you have to do. It's probably a law. If not, if these authoritarians stay in office any longer, it will be a law. That might be the only good law, though. But to my right is, as Brad would call him, man, myth, legend. I just call him Evan T. Boucher. Evan, how the hell are you today?
Hello there, and good journey.
Great journey.
I'll definitely make it a law on Chandrilla that you have to hit that blue button to make it a follow.
Chandrilla.
Because, I have that power, being a regional governor.
Regional governor. How did you get that position of regional governor?
Well, I took a lot of inspiration from a certain General Hux on how
I thought he was going
to
to say took a lot of D, but go on.
That too, but how Hux received his promotion. So we can talk about that later, but today's been a great day for Star Wars fans because I'm adding a cape to one of my Halcyon costumes.
Oh.
So that's why it was a great day today. No, honestly, yeah.
Oh.
That was cool for me.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm adding a cape.
Okay.
So it's going to be cool. But
now this could either work or it could be something that... Now, don't forget that both Brad and I are on this voyage with you.
Exactly.
So...
Yeah.
It's just if the cape doesn't work out, we can't be held responsible for the things we say.
Well, I was going to
I'm
try
just
to
kidding.
get...
It'll look great, I'm sure.
It'll be funny either way. But I was going to try to get those little droids to carry my cape around behind me, like Grief Karga. But...
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, but in all reality, today was awesome, man. Because of this episode of Mandalorian.
Yeah, I've got the week off from work, just some family trips. So I woke up a little later than I normally do. Still early to watch this. I just naturally woke up around 6, and man, if you didn't drink coffee or drink an energy drink, this Mandalorian episode, if you're a Star Wars fan, was the thing you needed to get going for your day.
Mm-hmm. Took everything great about season 3 and everything great about seasons 1 and 2 and kind of put them together.
Exactly. So this is Hey Mando. I don't have the soundboard connected today. Evan does not have a headphone. The splitter got lost in translation. Brad's out of town. It's fine. We still needed to talk about this episode, so it's going to be a little old school, but which is fine. But this is our traditional Hey Mando episode breakdown of The Mandalorian, season 3, chapter 23. It was
The Spies.
The Spies, yes.
Which we can talk about that title, because obviously Elia Kane is one spy, but where's the other spies?
I know who the other one is. I've been saying it for
you
years.
have been saying this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's keep tradition. Let's do spoiler-free thoughts real quick between you and I. And then I think what I'll do is I'll let Brad's thoughts kick it off first.
Okay.
And then you and I can dive deep down right into everything.
Yeah.
So spoiler-free thoughts first. Evan, go.
This was definitely the best episode of season 3 so far, because it took everything I loved about the third chapter from season 3, I think, with the Coruscant heavy episode, and just magnified that and gave us connections to the greater universe from every media imaginable, books, comics, you name it. And then, of course, the connections to the rest of Mandalore from previous seasons of The Mandalorian and animated shows and the future going forward, because Celebration just wrapped up, which we can talk about a little bit. But it tied into Celebration stuff. This was the perfect episode for today, for right now.
It's good. I agree with all of that. It definitely was the best. I would rank this, I think I would give this a 10. This episode a 10.
There's only one part that I was
really
a little weird, but it was 10 seconds.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter. It's a 9.9 or a 10. It's great.
I mean, a 10 has to be perfect, right?
Yeah.
Things aren't perfect, right? And this episode isn't perfect, but I think it makes me feel 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
You and I are going to go through it a little bit here on air with the TV. You can't hear that.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't hear that. It just sounds bad from here. But
Yeah.
and if you can hear the motorcycle, my bad, people. It's a beautiful day outside in Florida, so we've got the window open, screen door, whatever, and Winston's enjoying it. We're doing it from my place again. 2 shows in a row. What's going on? But yeah, it made me feel 10 out of 10 at first. There's just so much that we got out of this episode, and the last thing I'll say, non-spoilery, if you've been one of those people on the internet, and I've seen you, who are like, filler episode this, filler episode that, every episode's a filler episode, and no, I'm not taking a jab at you, Brad, for what you said last week, but filler episode has been like a buzzword on the internet lately with The Mandalorian. Everybody's like, this is filler, this is filler, this is filler, and and they can be true to a point, and your opinion is valid, but not everything is a filler. Like, they've built up to specific points, and you may not agree with how they got to that point, but I think it's very satisfactory, the first 6 episodes, and on our 7th, the way it led to what we saw today and what we're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. These things served a purpose.
Even Christopher Lloyd's character isn't like named or anything. They don't mention him, but his kind of arc and his point of his character comes into play, and like, not his specific character, but that idea of his character comes into play.
Right. And also, I think he's going to come back. We didn't mention this last week.
That would be cool.
Because they just sent him to exile on some planet.
Yeah. And I mean, you don't get that big of an actor, I think, for 10 minutes of screen time.
True. But anyways.
But especially if Gideon can return, anyone can. Like,
this is true.
Off screen.
This is true. So, all right, here we go with the spoiler thoughts, and we will kick it off for the member of the council that's not in person today, but Brad, give us those thoughts.
What's up, everybody? Sorry I couldn't be on the show today, but I am in Atlantic City, and look at that. Good God, that's beautiful. Looked cooler at night, to be honest, but whatever. Today's episode of The Mandalorian was incredible. I'm just going to give my spoiler-free thoughts first, and then I'll give you my spoiler thoughts after that. So, spoiler-free thoughts. Holy crap. Top 5 all-time Mando episode. Possibly in the top 3. Incredible. Lots of twists and turns. Didn't see some stuff coming. Really, really cool episode. Spoiler thoughts. Holy shit. Praetorian Guards. Brindle Hux. I mean, the moments in this episode were like up there for the best moments of the season. Finally getting to see, the rise of the First Order and all that kind of stuff. So this is great. I'm very curious how this ends. Rest in peace, Paz Vizsla. I'm really curious how this ends next Wednesday. I don't know. I haven't brought this up to the guys, but do you guys want to all watch it together? Maybe do a live review or something? That'd be fun. But I just am so curious where this goes. I love the IG-11 is like a mech suit for Grogu now. It's just, there's so many cool things. I know you guys dug it too. The listeners, comment down below if you're watching this on YouTube. Let me know what you thought. I think this is one of the coolest episodes of The Mandalorian, period. So, sorry I couldn't be on the show. I was going to come on and do Skype, but I'm an idiot and I left all the equipment in my apartment instead of in the garage where it's supposed to be. So that's why I'm not on the show. I apologize. And I'll see you guys next week. Until then, stay safe. May the Force be with you always, and good journey. Rise, Jedi Knight.
Well, I guess we don't have to end the show now. I mean,
Brad
just ended it for us, and then we just...
That's it. No more episode today. We just finished.
No more episode. There you go. No. Thank you.
Too much to talk about.
Thank you, Brad. Those were excellent thoughts, and I agree with everything he said there.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't wait to break it down with you, Brad. I mean, what do you say? I don't know what your work schedule is like. I think we should, if we can, maybe try to do something like that.
This is the first Wednesday, not today, but next Wednesday is the first Wednesday I'm working in a long time because I wanted to have Animal Kingdom's 25th anniversary off.
That sounds good.
So I had to swap to get Saturday off. So I sacrificed Wednesday. So if we watch it earlier Wednesday,
I'd be fine with.
Yeah, I'm down early.
You guys know me. Normally, I'm texting at 6 a.m. that I'm done with this thing.
So I'm okay with watching it at 6, 7 a.m.
Man, that would be cool if we could set up a watch somehow in the garage, and then just like Brad said, react to it. And we should talk behind the scenes. Let's get into talking about this episode. So,
but I mean, I had to be there for Dak's 25th, so I was like, I'll sacrifice that because I can watch Mando at 5, 6 a.m. if I have to.
Oh yeah,
it's not the same as an event. I hope it's an event, but knowing Disney, it won't be.
Well, I think we can all agree right now to say that it's the finale. You cannot expect it to be like last season's finale. It is unfair.
I don't know. I think it will be.
Whoa! But
After
how
today,
do you,
like today was as pretty close as we get to the last season finale.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't know how you top.
I don't think it'd be
Luke.
topped, but
Yeah.
I think it can reach that same of like
Interesting.
like wow moments.
Well, let's
top
talk about
moments.
it. Let's talk. Let's get into it. What I want to do is take advantage of. Like I said, we're in my living room right now. Why don't we just toss it on and talk about the episode as it goes on? Sound good? I don't know why I went to Rebels there.
Now, of course, all top 10, top whatever list will change over time, but there's definitely some top 100 Star Wars moments from today.
Almost definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably maybe next week too. So, and then of course when Ahsoka comes out, that'll give us more, but we will definitely get some top 100
Right.
moments next week, and we got some this week.
Yeah. I saw somebody say today that this episode was basically season 1, chapter 7. And I'm trying. I'm looking at
bit.
I
Yeah,
guess.
Paz Vizsla kind of pulled the IG-11 route, sacrificed himself.
True. I mean,
With
but
the Moff Gideon reveal at the end, yeah, kind of.
was Paz there? Did he witness that? Well, no.
No,
No.
he did not. He had already escaped planet at that point.
But
with the rest of the
that's
covert.
that's a different episode. But anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go chapter 23. I never noticed that. They don't
put the
ever
titles
put the
up for the
titles.
first
Well, that's
day.
good because when I saw the title for this one, the first thing I thought of was what I'm going to say as we get closer to the episode.
It starts with one of the spies, and
Yeah.
at closer to the end of the episode, and the middle of the episode.
Did you watch the recap?
No, I skipped it.
I did watch it today.
Did it show
Yeah.
Gideon and
Well,
whatnot?
Here's the recap right now.
Yeah, now I can watch the recap.
Yeah, you can watch the
Talking
recap.
about the atmosphere on Mando,
Yeah, they're
all
looking
that
at
good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Bo-Katan was right about Mandalore. It's not cursed. My stomach bubble. I farted on Mandalore. We should live here.
Now here's like
I don't know where I
another
was going with that.
complaint that people are having, like everything's happening off screen. Like they went and like collected all these other Mandalorians off screen. Like these ones they didn't. Obviously we saw. But
I know. It's like make up your mind. And they're showing us last week. They're showing Bo-Katan versus Axe-Woves.
yeah, on the Tomorrowland planet
Yeah, right outside of Living with the Land.
with Lizzie and stuff.
Lizzo.
Oh sure.
It's an O.
That one. It's an O.
Their fans will get really, really pissed.
Sorry.
Lizzo's fans will get pissed. So yeah, it's like she gets the Darksaber. She defeated the enemy of my enemy. I have spoken for some reason. And then again, clever way to give the Darksaber. And then I love that shot with Bo holding the Darksaber.
Yep.
But then here goes they show us more. They show us how Gideon again
They show,
a couple episodes
the
ago.
Lambda class shuttle and all that stuff.
Like that was Beskar on the wall.
I like how we're all like speculating, like, oh, who really broke him out? Who really did it? But it was probably just his Beskar troopers that broke him out.
Yeah. Now that's kind of set that up. However, there's still
Maybe.
somebody that I
Like
think
we said,
is
the
involved.
spies, multiple spies. Who was the other one?
And then we finally saw Pershing again getting mind flayed. Kind of reminded us that Elia Kane exists.
Yeah,
So we got the Lucasfilm. I'm skipping that. So we start off the Coruscant.
beautiful shots of Coruscant.
Beautiful
Some
shots of Coruscant.
1313 vibes going on.
I thought we were about ready to buy some death sticks. I don't know about you.
Well, I mean, I think one of us already has. We saw him last week here.
Shh. We got surprises for the Halcyon. But yeah, I bought some death sticks. So we've got our old Elia Kane. What do you think about her character? She's walking in the streets looking for something.
Yeah, I mean, she's fine. She's not like my favorite character, but I like her. She's cool.
She's really good for the Empire, right?
Yeah.
It's a very menacing character. And these Empire sympathizers, right? If you want to call it, or supporters, are like they're the people that believe in their order and their control of things. So you have to have some narcissistic people, and then even Pershing to a point. He wasn't narcissistic, but he believed in his work, so he thought the Empire was the only way he'd be able to do it.
Yeah, honestly, like it's funny. He kind of ties into like one of the messages of the Halcyon. It's like allegiance is a pretty big deal when you believe in a cause, right or wrong, and you support it. It says a lot. And Pershing's one of those guys. He supports and believes in that cause.
Here comes a probe droid.
It's a good thing you weren't spotted.
Yeah, thank you. Brad does a better Beck than I do.
Oh yeah, he does a good Beck.
So this was cool. You know who she eventually communicates with on the probe droid.
Yeah.
This was like an awesome. Not like we know what Moff Gideon looks like, but this reveal for the season was pretty cool. Especially since I didn't think we'd see him as soon as we eventually see him here.
Yeah.
Just powering up. I guess I can kind of maybe fast forward a little bit through some things, so we're not sitting there forever.
So basically, Elia is like, hey, the Mandalorians fought off the pirates that I guess we're in league with.
Exactly.
So they fought off Mandalorians, Mandalorians fought off the pirates on Navarro. Right. Gideon's like, what are you talking about? And she's like,
well, he said which Mandalorians?
Yeah, and she's like the Din Djarin ones, and he's like, oh, I hate that guy.
Do you think he could be having some problems with another Mandalorian right now too?
Oh yeah, he definitely could be.
Yeah, Miss Sabine Wren, who we saw in Ahsoka's trailer.
Because he is, historically against the Mandalorians, but right now he's even in a second week. We're gonna get to his little, not high council, but his council.
Yeah. Right.
And
but
he's like, yo, Mandalorians are the biggest problem. We got to take them out first.
We didn't know where he was right now. Like we find
out at the end.
But I'm like, where the hell is he?
Where's this cool looking base he's got?
Who are
with the Phantom Menace vibes here going down the?
And like, who are those troopers? Like, what are they? Are those real people? Are they like Dark Trooper prototypes again? Like,
yeah. Now, what are those? What's going on with that?
And let's.
Is that the project? What was it again?
Necromancer.
Project Necromancer.
So
in those tubes he's walking.
He was walking down a hall, and there were tubes with clear bodies in them.
Yeah.
And then now there's a big old
holographic council.
Holographic council of many
bunch
people.
Of warlords.
Yeah. This is important. Bunch of people that we don't know, but they look like,
Well, we know two of them, so that's the guy right there who's
they're old white
from
men,
Legends.
so you're supposed to think that they're bad.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. That's the guy right there. Polarin, whatever. He's the guy from Legends, apparently.
Oh,
He's like
interesting.
Thrawn's right-hand man.
Oh.
So that's a cool tie-in. Like, I'm fine with it, but that's the one everyone's latching onto for some reason. When you got true intellectuals like ourselves.
Yes.
Latching on to someone we're going to see in a second.
Yeah.
They don't even mention his full name. I think they say his first name or his last name like once.
Right.
Maybe twice.
But
the subtitles say his first name.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I loved it.
Well, plus, like, if you were going to use the real one, you might as well have used the actor.
Yeah, but also, like, age-wise, he's a kid at this time.
Right.
But right there, that was him. Oh, we got
And provide Commandant Hux, yeah, called him.
Captain Palion. Okay, so he's the guy that's with Thrawn.
Okay.
And
interesting.
Gideon's like, why does Thrawn never show up to these meetings? What's going on?
Yes, that was huge. So let's just let's just pause and talk about what they talked about.
Right there too.
That is a good shot. So Moff is the only one that we're in person with, and everybody else is like on their ship or in their hideout, right? So first off, this is the live action. Well, no, yeah, live action debut of Brendel Hux.
Yeah,
which is General Armitage Hux's father.
Yep.
This, if it wasn't evident to any of you people before, here you go. The arm of the First Order is, boom, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's right there.
As we said last week.
It's all of these people, actually.
The Last Jedi is increasingly so canon.
So canon.
It's not getting less canon. It's getting more
huge.
Canon.
It's so canon. I'm busting through my shorts over here, guys. Yeah. It's so canon. Let's see, what time is it today? Let me just make sure that everybody knows. It is 12:31 Eastern Standard Time. Today on April the 12th in the year of 2023. He is risen over the weekend, ladies and gentlemen, and also The Last Jedi is still canon. Thank you very much, Kyle.
And at the end of the episode, it gets even more canon with this awesome thing that happens.
It does. So there's lots of mention about Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Yep, and obviously each one of these warlords wants to be the guy that takes over.
Right,
but like Gideon is the one that we're following, and he wants to be the one that takes over. And he's like, we got to start by eliminating the Mandalorians. And he's like, I can do that.
Well, Gideon's questioning where Thrawn is. He's like, where is Thrawn?
Yep.
Like, somebody else has to take up leadership. Might as well be me.
Yeah. And they're all kind of also debating, like, so do we all just get together right here and now and, like, give ourselves away?
Mm-hmm.
Or what do we do? And Gideon's like, we need to keep acting like we're a bunch of random dudes, that we're not that strong.
Exactly.
So no one really takes us seriously.
Exactly.
Until it's time to take us seriously when we blow up Hosnian Prime. He doesn't say that, but that's what they're building to.
Right. Take us seriously when the First Order is like, all right, we're serious.
Yeah.
Fuck you. And then he asks for a bunch of...
Send some TIE interceptors, my favorite ship, and then send a bunch of TIE bombers, which are the ships he used to originally overtake Mandalore. We saw in all those crazy cool flashbacks. And
he asked for Praetorian guards.
3 of them, to be precise.
3 of them. Oh, and he got them, but we'll get there.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's kind of play. So this scene, I'd say this is a top 100 scene.
Yeah, I love this moment because, like I said, it ties in everything from the Mandalorian.
They call it
already.
the Shadow Council. That's what we're
Yes.
going to call it. The Shadow
I love the
Council.
name of the Shadow Council. I love all of the things they're talking about and requesting. I love the Pelion guy from Legends, even though Legends I don't really care about. But it's cool for the fans that do care about it. They're
That's
using
true.
these people. I like that.
I don't, I wish I knew more of Legends so I can see these people who
And
come
there
in.
he is again, our
Mhm.
man Hux.
And never a word of Thrawn.
And this casting of Brendel Hux is perfect. He kind of sounds a little bit like
Oh, of course he had
Donald
to,
Gleason.
Yeah, he had
He
to have
sounds a little bit like him. And he even has that look of like, yeah, I can see that being Hux's dad. They
Mhm.
look pretty similar.
hmm
Excellent casting.
I wonder if any of these were like Project Necromancer is in place for that. So he was basically questioning like if Thrawn doesn't return, who's going to take his place, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's one. Somebody said Project Necromancer is in place for that. Like, boom, Palpatine returning. That's what's in place for.
But it's also kind of like they're all kind of winking and nodding at each other like, oh, we're following orders, right? We're not doing our own secret little projects, right?
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
And Gideon's like, oh, yeah, no. But they're all doing their own kind of thing.
Oh, see, they called Moff out for trying his own, experiments on Navarro.
Yeah. And Hux even mentions something about cloning or something right there. So, like,
Oh, yeah. Oh, he said
Hux is
Gideon
the one
said
that's
to him,
obsessed with
cloning.
cloning?
Yeah, cloning is your obsession, not mine.
yeah.
So Hux
Which is funny because in The Force Awakens, Kylo says to, not Brendel, but his son Armitage Hux, maybe Supreme Leader Snoke should consider using a clone army.
Mm-hmm.
And Hux doesn't like that.
Yeah.
Armitage and Brendel Hux are two very opposite dudes. They hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that's funny that 3 Praetorian Guards right there.
Three
Yep.
Praetorian
So that's funny
guards.
that Brendel loves clones, and then his
Mhm.
son hates Brendel, and he also doesn't like clones.
Yeah, it's probably
So
has
it's
something
funny.
to do with it. Like, look at that. More connectivity to the sequels. I'm just saying, like, everybody complains about the sequels like there wasn't a plan, and I completely agree with you guys. I understand your concerns. However, you've got to give it to what Disney's doing right now, and like it won't kill you to give Disney credit for doing good with Star Wars, people. It will not kill you.
Well, they give him the blame, but then they don't give him the credit.
Exactly.
It's like when sports teams are winning, you like credit certain people, but then when they're losing, you blame the coach and you fire the coach.
Exactly.
It's like, what are you doing? It should be
Right.
blame and credit when
Mhm.
it's due.
Mm-hmm. And then here we go. We're getting things that tie in and that help show us it leads up to a certain point. Now, I don't know if I've ever been used to the way that Star Wars does it with like how they'll give us the end and then
Fill in all the gaps.
fill in everything
after.
else. Like, I'm not used to that. Like, it still feels weird with me sometimes.
Yeah.
But it makes it cool. It makes it cool. Like, that was like the biggest open to a show. Like,
That's a cold open.
a cold
essentially.
open. Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
come
yeah.
on.
Yeah, the Spies.
It's a great cold open.
It's a great cold open. Chapter 20. So we're back on Navarro all of a sudden.
And this is a great edit, too, because now we jump to Navarro, and the ship we see coming over Navarro, we're like, oh, it's Moff Gideon again. But then you're like,
Oh,
no, it's not, because that's Bo-Katan's ship. Yeah,
Yeah.
see, even the way this is shot and edited, everyone's freaking out,
right.
saying it's a giant Imperial
fucking
ship.
Imperial cruiser. Like, I'd be freaking
And we don't
out
see
too.
the paint job on it in this shot.
Mhm.
So we're like, oh, Gideon's coming down on him already.
Boom, Navarro gonna blow up. I mean, it was. I don't know about you, but it was obvious to me that this wasn't Gideon, and I knew it was
Right away. Well, not right away.
Bo-Katan's,
It
but-
took me a second. I was like, oh, Gideon's. And then I was like, wait, he doesn't have that ship anymore.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I was like, oh, it's Bo-Katan. And then they show it here.
And then the ships. If
the
you don't
cool
know,
Mandalorian logo painted.
the Mythosaur.
And then once you see the Fang fighters flying alongside it, you're like,
Right.
wait, those are Mandalorian
Fang
ships.
fighters, yeah.
So,
That's the name. That's why I couldn't think. And like,
but that was done on purpose. That edit back to
oh
back.
yeah. It was a good shot. And then Grief's like, oh, look up, check out the paint job. We good. He's like, we good, everybody. So they're
Little exposition from the
Yeah, yeah,
the
definitely
protocol
some
droid here, being
exposition.
like, wait, they're good guys. Yeah, they're good guys. Okay, we got it.
And then the armor steps out. They're looking at the whole fleet.
Why is she the one they show first? I wonder.
You never know. She's
This
shown
is
a
getting
lot.
more and more believable
Yeah,
as we go on here.
I'm telling you. CGI is spectacular.
Yeah,
This
shot looks great.
This shot does look good.
The whole fleet coming in to land on Navarro,
Yeah, their camp, the stretch of land. And look at Grogu on Bo's lap.
hanging out with Bo. He really loves Bo.
He does. Well, he's got a dad. He's looking for a mom.
Yep, there you go.
I've been saying, like, Bo and Din are kind of just acting like his parents. The way those things land are crazy. They're called the Fang vehicles?
Yeah, Fang fighters.
Fang fighters, okay.
I think they have like a further nerdy designation, but it's like that's their like.
So they finally, Bo's bringing back the night owls and everybody that Axe Woves had with him.
Yeah,
And
to meet with what we thought was the remainder of Death Watch, but we'll find out later that not so much.
Children of the Watch.
But Death Watch and Night Owls hate each other.
Right.
So they're like, this is a tense moment here. And it was a little tense at first. So
okay,
like,
maybe you
right.
can hear that shit. Hold on, keep talking.
Like, all right, what's going on? We get a little standoff here. And, of course, Paz Vizsla is the one that's kind of like, hey, kids, go inside. This is going to be a standoff. He's always the one that kind of brings the tension in any scene when it involves anything to do with Mandalorian history and culture. And then the history and culture is always brought around by the armorer. She kind of was like, hey, chill out. Like, we'll talk this out. Yep, she steps in here. She's like, we're cool.
She's like clanging her hammer and her whatever the hell that thing is that she uses to forge.
Yeah.
I think they showed you those tools on purpose in that shot.
Potentially, yeah.
Because they got to remind you what her purpose is as a Mandalorian.
So she's like, all right, we're cool, everyone. And everyone's like, okay, yeah, I guess we're cool.
I guess we good. You got any of that bantha dick? That fried bantha dick I can eat? Then Grief comes over.
Did Grief
and
walk all the way out here?
Surely
hope
not.
Surely not.
I'm sure he had a speeder or something.
Yeah.
With C-3P0 over there.
They need to sell this right here.
Oh, that like whiskey
This wine
bottle?
or whatever it is from Coruscant.
Oh, it looked like it was whiskey. It was darker.
Yeah, whatever it is. I would buy just the bottle, but
The bottle is legit.
I wanna
and
drink
I would
whatever's
also drink
inside
the
it.
alcohol, yeah.
that needs to be sold on the Halcyon.
Yeah.
It almost looks like the Halcyon Fluke.
A $5,000 drink, too.
It would be.
Just like the Halcyon.
Oh, no. Here comes IG-11.
It's
Nope,
IG-11
it's
right
not.
now.
It's IG-12.
Yeah. So we get the introduction of IG-12 here.
I love the Anzellan driving him.
And it's being piloted by an Anzellan, right now. I'm like, oh, my God.
How amazing would it be if that was Shug Trebor? Like,
Oh, God.
that'd be crazy.
How long do Anzellans live?
I don't think we know.
Yeah.
He's
we
still
definitely
alive
don't.
when we board the Halcyon.
Oh, yes? All right,
Yeah.
then. Well, then this definitely could be Shug Drabor. But wouldn't you think that he'd have, like a little bit more, like, money? Wouldn't he be a little bit more?
Yeah, he wouldn't be like...
I don't think he's slinging it on Navarro.
Yeah, he wouldn't be slumming it here
Yeah.
in the low streets of Navarro.
I don't think so, although that would be cool. But, like, the direction they took with how they're going to get Grogu to move around. So they basically made this. This is IG-12 now. They took
Yeah.
IG-11 and the
Body of
Anzellan
IG-11.
modded it. Oh, by the way, this was awesome. This
Bad
no
baby.
squeezy.
No squeezy. As he waddles
Leave
away.
me alone. So they put Grogu in, and it's like he learns how to operate IG-12. Like it's a two little joysticks and a button for movement.
And 2 buttons for speaking, too.
Oh my God! Like that was, I guess the yes, 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 and the no, no, no. That got a little annoying.
I don't think it did. It did here like initially.
Yes.
But they stopped using it after the
Correct.
scene until a pretty impactful scene
Well,
later.
yeah. That was better.
It's when they're walking through the streets of Navarro that's like, shut up. We don't need yes, yes.
But I think it's just trying to prove to you he's still a child.
This was great. Yeah, Din is like, he doesn't need that.
Yeah.
Get him out. And Grogu pushes the button that says no.
Yeah.
No.
And he kept agreeing with Grief.
And Grief was like, keep him in. And Grogu's like, yes.
Yeah, this was very, he's a child, right? So he's happy, and it was very childish.
But he can finally kind of speak with Din now.
Right.
He has 2 words, so now he can impose his own free will.
Mm-hmm.
He did a little bit on the last week's chapter. I always forget the name of the Tomorrowland planet. But when Lizzo
Pfizer
wanted to hold
15.
him,
Yes.
whatever, and Din was like, no, I don't think he's going to like that. And then Grogu just did it himself.
Right.
It's like he
right,
has
she
free
had
will.
food, yeah.
He can speak for himself.
Correct. Yeah, here he is walking around saying the yes,
And now
yes,
walking through the
yes,
streets, yes.
yes.
This is
Oh.
Taika Waititi doing his I Am Groot impression, where he
Oh,
just gets to
no.
say yes and get paid.
I know. Ugh. That's all right. So walking through the streets of Navarro, learning how to use IG-12. And then
Grogu
they
just steals food like he always does. But Din's like, no, you got to pay for that.
Right. And it's like the little melon fruit or
That's
whatever.
a Yogan fruit.
Yogan fruit. See
Yes.
what's going
They
on
have
here.
some on Batu, actually.
Oh, this is Bo-Katan giving the giving the speech to all of them, and they all stand up. It's like, yes, I will go with you. There's kind of like a, is it Spartacus? It was like, yes, I am so and so. I am so and so. There. Well, anyway.
Add that to the list of movies I haven't seen.
I don't. It's
same with The Godfather. We
I've
talked
never
about how
seen
none of us have seen that. Like,
I've actually never seen that movie either.
yeah,
It's
I've never
just,
seen 300.
I've seen The Simpsons make fun of it, so that's why
Exactly.
I'm referencing it there.
Yep.
So they're landing on Mandalore in a bit of a storm. Must be hurricane. Then they get to the ground, and like some of the Mandalorians, I remember it when they opened the hatch, looking it down, like, oh my god, it's worse than I expected.
Yeah, because they haven't seen Mandalore
Right.
in decades.
And then Axe Woves turns to Paz and says, I was there, when it happened, kind of thing. At least I'm pretty sure that's Axe.
I think it is.
Yeah.
It's weird. I was kind of
Just 'cause that's
expecting some
Costco Reeves.
flashbacks, but this is
Yeah,
all
we
just
don't need it.
spoken. Yeah, we don't really need it because we've got those flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
But we get a lot of spoken stories and like retelling of how it happened. to
Yeah,
each
so
other.
everybody drops down and they're all like walking together, IG-12 included, and Mando looks back to Grogu in IG-12 every now and again and just kind of like checks on him, but you could tell that Din is trusting of Grogu more and more.
Yep.
I say as we go along to kind of handle himself, especially since Grogu gets stronger in the Force. I do hope we see something insane that Grogu does with the Force next
I think
week.
we will,
Yeah.
especially now that he has like he can actually walk around and like he has like a body basically.
Maybe
That's
Grogu's the
weird as
one
it
that's going to
sounds.
help us tame the Mythosaur like he did with the
Could be.
Rancor.
And now he can like wield blasters and stuff. He has like
Oh, that's true.
he has arms and hands. Like he has his tiny arms and hands, but now he has
So here we go. This
human-sized
this
body.
like Mandalorian pirate ship, or it's really not even a
Slash
pirate ship.
Ski skiff runner. Like it's cool. It's a
It's
cool
like a
design.
skiff runner. It's like an interesting design that
It's
they're
like
just kind of making their way through the planet on.
Jabba's sail barge mixed with a sailboat. It's
Mhm.
weird.
And it's ex Night Owl.
Yeah.
And like as soon as they heard it was Bo-Katan's voice, they're like, Queen or Princess, and they basically bow to her.
Yeah.
And the armor is like, notice how the armor got a little excited there. They're Mandalorians.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd she get so excited? Wonder why. We'll get to it in a bit.
She wants to rule Mandalore, so
Well,
she's surprised that people can still
maybe.
survive on the
Yeah.
planet
Yeah.
and that they
Maybe.
weren't wiped out.
So they jetpack over. They take their helmets off. And they're
It's
like,
cool seeing like the juxtaposition too of their armor, how
Right.
there's like scraps of everything and ripped up
scraps.
fabric,
And, yeah, they have like scarves and stuff.
compared to Din's perfect clean armor and Bo's mostly perfect armor.
He didn't earn that. Didn't he bring something back and melt it down
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
made all that armor?
that's from the client, that payment of
But that's
Beskar
right. He got paid in Beskar. That's right. And they
for
turned.
delivering Grogu
Yeah.
in season 1.
That's right. That was the best.
So here's their retelling of the Night of a Thousand Tears.
Yeah.
But
So we've
Bo
kind
was
of been
kinda-
over that for a
well,
while.
this is like Bo's kind of reveal too. She's like,
Oh, whoops,
I
my
actually
bad.
did
Yeah,
surrender. She's like, I
That's right.
traded surrender for everyone's lives to be spared.
that's true.
And the rest of the Mandalorians are like in shock. But then she's like, and of course Gideon betrayed me, killed as much as he could, and
Mm-hmm.
blew up the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And she even says like she basically just gave him the Darksaber. She's like, I just surrendered. I gave it to him.
Yeah. So watching the armor there specifically, looks like she's about to have a conversation with Bo-Katan. I
Yep.
can't remember what happened here.
Well, Bo was like, we all need to rest and then continue.
Right.
But the armor's like, actually, I'm gonna dip out
That's
and
right.
take a few people with me.
That's right. She talks into taking the weak ones back with her.
Mhm. So why would she want to
God
leave?
damn.
Why is she getting out? Does
I
she know
know.
what's coming?
She thinks she knows what's coming. I think she's part of the setup.
Mm-hmm.
God, again, I'm going to call this out before we get to it, but I want to mention the horns on the top of her on her
Yep.
helmet.
She's the only one we've seen
Mm-hmm.
in all 3 seasons with Mandalorian horns.
That's right.
That's a pretty big time in Mandalorian history.
Yep.
When Maul took over.
Oh
So
yeah.
to have
Again, don't forget they're looking for the forge, and these
Yeah, the Great
these
Forge.
these Night
guys
Owls know where
where
it's
it's
at.
at.
Yeah. So they're going to go to the forge, and then they're onward to the forge, and then this is when the armorer, the
She
armor's
dips out.
in a fang,
Mm-hmm.
and she dips out with the weakened ones, and they specifically show this shot of her dipping out, and Din, Bo-Katan, and Grogu in IG-12 are looking up at her as she flies away. Quite interesting. There it
Coincidence?
goes. Thunder
I
breaking,
think not.
whooshing. I'm keeping the scene on for a second. I want to see it. So they're all laying down. They're sitting down.
She calls back to
Weak.
the ship.
Yeah. She's calling back to the ship now. Yeah, fighting the storm. It's all stormy on on like the top front of Mando.
They said it's something to do with like magnetic fields and stuff.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So anyway, so they're going along, and then I think we're about to get attacked
The
by
chess fight first.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right.
This was cool. I don't know what this game is, but it'll be sold on Batu in
You know,
6
we always
months.
say that. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, 6 months. Okay, that's better.
And then Disneyland first, and then 6 months after that.
See, Disneyland Paris got Hulk. I'm not saying
Oh.
we need it. But
Oh, I thought they already had him.
no.
Oh, okay.
But they're only getting it for like 2 weeks. So yeah, X-Wolves and Paz Vizsla get into
They're
a
arguing over checkers.
piss
basically.
match, and like when they start fighting, nobody can interfere.
Yeah. And of course, like I said earlier, it's always Paz. Paz is always the one that initiates all this. This is the way. No, this is the way. Like, this is how we do it.
Well, Axe was kind of bitching about it too.
A little bit, but
They're
yeah,
both
so they
essentially
both-
the same character and like different,
Yeah,
like
100%.
different tribes or whatever.
Yeah.
I like Paz's like vibrating knife. That thing
Yeah,
looks
his
cool.
Vibroblade's cool.
What's it called?
Vibroblade.
Vibroblade. Okay.
It's kind of like what, wow, I'm going dumb all of a sudden. The guy in Solo. Crimson.
Oh, Dryden Voss.
Dryden Voss's
Oh,
blades.
yeah,
Except
yeah,
his,
yeah.
his glow, so a little different. But same idea.
Right. So Mando's like, should I step in? And Bo-Katan said, neither side can. So this is a nice setup while they're beating each other up. To eventually, Evan, you want to tell us who stops this fight?
Well, it's not Din, because like they just said, he
Right.
can't. But Grogu has learned a lot over the past
Mhm.
however many months, years he's been with Bo and Din. And he steps in and says, no, no, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he keeps pressing the no, and he's using like IG strength just to
he
keep them
separates
apart.
these two giant dudes in armor with IG-12's body.
Yeah, after Axe takes like a shot at Paz.
It's not fair, though. Axe doesn't have his helmet on. I feel like that's a disadvantage.
But put it on then. He had
Yeah.
all the opportunity.
Yeah, that's true.
So Grogu's like, no.
And that's when Bo is like, you taught him well, Din. And Din's like, well, I don't think he learned that from me.
Yeah.
So is that a Luke? Did he learn it from Luke? Did
That's
he learn
a
it from
1,000%
Bo?
a Luke thing.
Yeah.
It's a 1,000% a Luke thing. Oh, there goes the wind. Yeah, that's 1,000% Luke Jedi thing. He didn't learn that from me. Yeah, of course that was a nod. It had to
Mhm.
be. Did Grogu just nod at him?
Yeah,
That was adorable.
that was cute.
And then here we go back to the armor going
Now
up.
she's going to call finally,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, because she can. Interesting. I want to hear what she says here. Come in, Fleet Command. We read you. Prepare to receive rescued survivors in need of medical attention. Copy Gauntlet. There had to be a reason that they showed that shot, right?
I think it's just to show that she definitely got out, so she's not going to be part of the fight because she might know about the fight.
Yeah, she definitely knows about the fight. So now we're about to be attacked by.
This is the one thing that I thought was just a little dumb, but like it's 10 seconds. Like who cares?
Right, but it's also what gets them down to like
Yeah.
below. The
And it's not out of
forge.
nowhere because they mentioned earlier how ancient like beings and animals have been brought to the surface by the bombings. So
Right.
like it's mentioned. It's not random.
Right, and then like at first I thought, oh, maybe the mythosaur was showing up already.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that he or she had come to the surface.
And then I'm like, it's like Godzilla. But then I'm like, wait, that's the Zillo Beast. That was literally Dave Filoni's version of Godzilla. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
what is this thing?
It's
It's
just
just
something
a-
we might not never know. It was a giant dinosaur, whatever it was,
Yeah.
and they're all fighting it. I mean, he eventually takes some people out, but they get past him, and there's some casualties. But
I love how two Mandalorians just grab IG-12 and rocket off with him.
oh yeah,
Because he
yeah.
can't fly or
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
himself, so they just grab him.
Yeah. And then they eventually make it down to the Great Forge, and they're like,
An ambush.
yeah, Axe is like, this was this was once a great civilization, and like you lived here, like we all lived here, and we never left.
So the Night Owls lived on Mandalore, but
Mhm.
as we get reminded later, but the Death Watch / Children of the Watch, whatever you want to call them, were exiled to the moon of Concordia.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it comes up later. They're like, how did you survive? And it's like, well, we were on the moon.
Right.
We didn't bomb the moon.
Oh, here comes. Damn. And then Well, it's funny that the alarm's going off now. God damn.
Right?
We can't hear all that now. So, Evan, you want to tell us what's going on?
Yeah, of course. The Imperials are flying in on their jetpacks, so we need Poe to step in and be like, "They fly now," because they fly now.
Yeah.
But
They've
these
been
are
flying
just
for a
some
minute.
dope Imperial-looking troopers of some kind with jetpacks, but also pure Beskar armor.
Yeah.
Because Mando shoots a few of them, and he's like, "That's pure Beskar."
That's what I kind of thought at first when they started flying in, and like when we saw Moff walking by them earlier, I'm like, "Oh, there's got to be something about those
Yeah.
guys." And Axe takes off through the opening, right?
I think so.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's going for backup, isn't he?
Yeah.
That never shows up, or
Oh,
does it?
No, it doesn't even show up.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice
Yeah.
that because the backup's with the armorer.
Yeah, I think Axe walked in on something happening, and
Oh, dang.
yeah, I'm telling you,
I didn't
fucking
think about
told
that.
you assholes.
You have been
forever
calling this
ago.
for months.
God damn.
Maybe more than months.
I even feel. I'm not confident that the armor is a Rook cast, but I think it's Rook cast.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
And these the troopers here that Moff Gideon sent are a lot like the ones from Rebels that were Imperial Mandalorians.
Are you talking about the Super Commando ones or the
I think so.
Super Commando?
Yeah, the
red?
Mandalorian Super Commandos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, that's 1,000%
They remind me
what
a
it
lot
reminded me
them,
of,
and I think
yeah.
that's intentional
Oh, it has to be. Yeah.
because there were Mandalorians that were loyal to the Empire.
Yeah. So these Super Commandos are, they're giving a good fight to our Mandalorians, but that was badass. What
At this point, though, I was
Bo-Katan
like,
did.
"Bo, you have the darksaber. What are you doing?"
I know she
Pull it
really
out.
didn't. She really didn't think much yet, did she?
No,
At
it's like
this
you
point.
used it against the spider droid thing in chapter whatever that was 4,
Oh,
2,
that was
4,
much
whatever it
earlier.
was.
That was like 2 or 3.
2, yeah, whatever. Like you used it then, but now you don't want to use the darksaber.
I know. I don't
A little
know.
weird.
I love how Grogu's like tailing in the
But-
back.
So now we go from the ruins of Mandalore to caves to these weird Imperial-looking hallways.
I know. Like
You're like,
it's-
what?
Nobody said anything about him yet, but they're just like,
Why does it
What's
look like
going
we're on
on?
a Star Destroyer all of a sudden, almost, you know?
right? But you can assume again, the Empire were the ones that purged Mandalore, so you're like thinking to yourself, like maybe they set up a covert or something. But these Mandalorians are just taking the shit out and driving the Super Commandos out, but they're like purposely running away and they jetpack off. They jetpack off a little too easily.
And then we see this giant hangar bay
Oh my god, yeah.
with a fleet of my favorite ships.
Yep.
I love the Interceptor.
And now they're
they
trapped.
get locked in.
Except for Paz Vizsla,
Din, and a couple of rando Mando.
Din. No, I don't think they were. Oh well,
They're just night owls that just get picked off.
that just got picked up. But yeah, Din's. Oh no, Bo's not out there.
Oh,
Bo's
wait, Paz isn't out there either yet.
no,
Yeah,
not
that's
yet.
right.
It's just Din and those two.
A couple of random.
So Din Djarin is by himself, and he's being handily defeated by.
He's holding
like
his own pretty
6.
well
Oh, yeah,
until
for a
they-
minute.
Yeah, until they wrap him up.
But he's being overpowered by like multiple, not even 6, like 7, and then here comes
This is the reveal. I'm like,
big-ass
is
dark
it another
trooper.
dark trooper? What is this? And then it speaks, and I'm like, oh, it's just some new trooper variant. And it's got
All right.
some spikes on that helmet.
I'm going to stop right there at 41 minutes and 42 seconds of Season 3, Episode 7. If you pause there, you see those horns on the top of who we know this is Moff Gideon's like Dark Super Beskar armor. Come on, guys. It's right in our faces that him and the armor got something going on.
Yeah.
I don't know the armor's intentions, but just don't be shocked next week.
Maybe I need some more time to sit with this, too. I still like Gideon's original design better. I don't think I like this suit as much as his other suit.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But it
That's
definitely
fair.
plays into the whole thing that he loves Darth Vader. They always talk about that in interviews. Esposito's like, yeah, my character loves Darth Vader.
Oh,
You're
cool.
like, and
That's cool.
obviously,
Obviously,
this is
yeah.
heavily Darth
Hell yeah.
Vader inspired.
Definitely. And he
Then
takes the helmet off,
and
and he's like,
oh, it's Gideon.
Din's like, you son of a bitch, and he growled at him. Moff, thank you for gathering the Mandalorians in all the right place, in the same place. And he's just basically telling the Mandalorians that their time has passed. And
He
this
even
is
says
all.
it's like how we do things in the Empire. We just use the best parts of every culture.
Mm-hmm. Now, he said Mandalorian will live on in me.
Yep. So he's just going to take the resources to make next generation Dark Trooper suits from pure Beskar.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that was the problem that he didn't do with the first Dark Troopers.
Well, he didn't have enough.
Right.
Enough Beskar.
That's
but
true.
Now
yeah.
he does.
Yeah. You will see every society has something to offer.
The cloners and the Jedi.
Yeah. But
Wonder why he wants them and is talking about them.
So he said a piece of me. So he's putting a piece of him in the... was he talking about the Dark Troopers? Just making like Dark Troopers Force sensitive made of Beskar or something?
Yes and no. He's also saying the problem last time was they were droids. Now they're perfect because they're me. Great shots of some TIE bombers. Oh.
Yeah. So are all those Super Commandos clones of Moff Gideon?
He might be hinting at that. That would be an
is that what they
interesting
hinted at? Like if all these guys take off their suit, they're just gonna be younger black guys. Like I'm serious. That would be fucking crazy cool.
Yeah.
Man, that'd be awesome. Maybe that's what he's been working on the whole time.
Maybe we'll never find out, but like could be. Because he was talking about cloning, and he was
Could
using
be just
Dr. Pershing.
So now they're taking Din away from all of them.
Yeah.
Like all of the...
He says take him to debriefing. So what's he want with Din? What's going on there?
Well, he's going to ask some questions.
Yeah.
He wants to know where some people be, and maybe Din knows. Or, I don't know. Maybe he wants to know more about Navarro or something. Bo-Katan basically said, should have killed you when I had the chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have killed him earlier when you met him, Bo, when you handed over the Darksaber to him.
And here we go again. He says, give me the Darksaber.
Yeah, never. God. So it screwed him over the first... Yeah, why couldn't she just, like... She would have been killed immediately, but she would have at least had the Mandalorians behind her. So, like, did they have this planned if they got trapped? Because, like, she turned and looked to Paz, and then everybody else covered fire for her, while she turned around and used the Darksaber to cut a hole for everybody to escape. Everybody but one person, that is. Now, off flies
It looks so good
Darth
when it flies
Gideon.
off, though. Darth Gideon. I like that.
It's Darth Gideon from here on out.
Yep.
So Bo gets out. Well, actually, Bo turns around while everybody else
She lets everyone else.
Get out.
She's a leader. She's like, everyone else get out first.
And I could tell they were starting to set up to this because Paz was like starting to stay in front, and he was taking out these Gideon clones.
Potentially. I like that idea.
Yeah.
No, everyone's out except for...
so many. They were starting to just
Bo.
show up. Oh, my God, so many of Gideon clones. We're clear, fall back. And Paz knew.
He's like, there's too many of them.
Paz knew. Man, I kind of wish that for the people like who didn't know that this is Jon Favreau, like I kind of wish that he would have, like his helmet would have gotten knocked off or something, and you just saw him go down with like John's face, like, oh, it's Favreau.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool.
That's fine.
But he's such a zealot that he will never take his helmet off. And like you said, if it fell off, that would have been cool. But
Right, true. He would never take it off. But I was thinking like maybe one of the Moff Gideon like super commando dudes would have like taken it off as like a sign of like disrespect or something.
yeah, I could definitely see that.
Be like, F you,
His heavy blaster's overheating. He gives up on it. He just chucks it at this guy.
Yeah, that was awesome. He's like, get the hell out of here. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Basically.
He's
the Juggernaut
these guys.
Lorian.
He is the Juggernaut Lorian. He's picking these dudes up while getting blasted.
Throwing them
he
off
just
the cliff.
clotheslined this one guy.
He goes like, he's a little bit like Wrecker at this
Yeah,
moment.
here we go. He just threw him off, yeah.
Dude, if Wrecker had Beskar armor, he'd be unstoppable.
Boom. Oh, my God. He just pushed those final two on the bottom.
But there's more coming to get you, my man. You're not out of this yet.
Cool. This was cool. Like, the Praetorian Guard. So,
oh, my gosh.
oh, man. You know what scene I really loved these guys in was from help me out what movie it was from there, Evan, but they were Rey and Kylo were battling them.
They were fighting them, and they couldn't handle those two badass Force users, but they could definitely handle a Mandalorian. So it shows you how badass they are.
And it also tells you that the Last Jedi is still canon.
Stab in the chest.
Oh yeah, he gets
stab in the chest.
Paz goes down. These Praetorian Guards take him out pretty quick.
He can't even take out one.
They're elite.
We saw Rey take out 3-ish, and Kylo took out the other 3-ish.
Together.
Yeah, together. As one.
Together as one. And Paz
goes down. If the helmet just like bounced off there, that could have been cool.
Yeah.
And then just walk away like nothing happened.
Nope. Took care of business. They're going to go look for everybody else.
I want to know what generation that is of guards, because they're designed different than the ones we see in Last Jedi.
Heavy ending to this episode.
Great direction by Rick. Rick Famuyiwa.
Nice job.
He did the best ones in Season 1, and he did the best one in Season 3.
He did do the best one in Season 1, and definitely the best in Season 3 thus far. Ooh.
Thus far.
What do you rank it? Like I said, this one's still like a 10 out of 10 for me. I'm going to watch it again properly with Courtney this evening. But
man.
What do you give it?
It's the best one in Season 3.
What do you rank it?
Probably top 3 episodes.
Okay, like overall.
Season
Mandalorian.
2 finale is number 1.
Well, yeah.
This one might be 2 or 3.
Right now, this would be like my number 3. My number 2 would be Luke. My 1 is still the Jedi with Ahsoka.
Yeah, that's probably 2 or 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's season 2 finale for me, and then Ahsoka or this one.
Totally fair. Totally fair. So, so now let's
Talk about the Spies. Like we said, Elia Kane is
Spies.
one, but
Yeah.
we've been hinting at it heavily. But
the armor is the other spy.
you've been saying this for at least months. and
Potentially
it's-
Rookcast and
yeah.
the armor. I've been feeling something's up with her from almost from the get-go.
Yeah, it's come to a head here, and it is pretty obvious that
Yeah.
that's what we're looking at.
So what do we get next week? What's our finale? Like, how does this wrap up? How do you want to see it wrap up? Or because me,
Well-
I'm very happy.
Yeah,
And like the finale should be great.
Bo and the rest of the Mandalorians are going to get back up to the surface. Their ship is gone, though, so they can't really get back up to the ships
Right. They're gonna have to
because
get
the armor
back
flew up. So
somehow.
how are they going to get back to the ships?
Well, they got down somehow. They're just
the
gonna,
armor
well,
took the ship back.
Yeah, but they're going to jetpack up to the surface, and you're right.
Potentially,
You're
yeah.
right. You're right. She did take the
But
ship.
somehow
back.
we're going to find out that there's an Imperial fleet up there, the interceptors and the bombers, and they're taking out Bo-Katan's fleet.
Hmm.
And then there's going to be some battles there between Bo and Gideon, and Thrawn might even come in at the end and be like, hey, I'm who you should probably be more concerned about.
I'm just gonna
And
say
kind of mic drop it.
we might get some saving from the Ghost crew, or what's left of the Ghost crew next week.
Potentially. Because with all this Thrawn coming about, where's Ezra?
Where's Ezra?
What happened to him?
You know, Ahsoka's looking for Thrawn. So if Thrawn's nearby, Ahsoka might be nearby. She might know something's going on.
What if
Has she
Grogu
spoken
tells
to-
her, through the Force, says,
Right.
hey, Thrawn's here.
True. Yeah, you never know.
It could happen.
Grogu. There's so much that could happen next week. Again, nothing's off the table for this show. So much to happen. I don't even want to predict. I just want to sit back and enjoy it. I
Right.
just the only thing that I feel like it's going to happen is that we're going to get the payoff that the armor is behind on something here.
Yeah, 100%.
That's it. So, anything else you want to chat about?
They've said season 4 is obviously already being made, so
Oh, yeah.
there's more after this.
Well, it's
but-
done. It's written. I think Favreau
Yeah, it's
said it was
definitely
written, right? Yeah.
So it just will they end after 4? You think, and then kind of let
And then do the movie.
Ahsoka lead into the movie?
Oh.
Ahsoka / Skeleton Crew /
I think
Mando
like
lead
Kathleen
in.
Kennedy said in that interview, that the really good interview she did at Celebration, she mentioned that she said something about 6 years, being away 6 or 7 years for Filoni's movie, which is going to end the Mando universe.
Mhm.
So I mean, if we get a fourth, when we get the 4th season of Mando, is there a 2nd season of Ahsoka in there? Is there more Book of Boba Fett?
Yeah,
Like,
they've
is there
been
something we haven't
silent
seen
on Boba.
yet?
We don't know if that's done.
Yeah. We haven't even talked yet that Bad Batch was confirmed
Yeah,
of
season
3rd
3
and
final.
final season.
Yes, I
Wait.
love that because Clone Wars was just way too much.
It was long.
It had a few good things, but it was way too long.
While I'm upset with this because I've thoroughly enjoyed Bad Batch, three
It's perfect.
seasons feels right.
Yep, because season 2
For
was
this
so
story.
good, and then it ended in a way that needs finishing.
1000%.
And tying in and connecting. We got Mount Tantus cloning stuff going on. You could get
Mhm.
some Pershing connections. You could get Gideon connections. You could
Sure
get
could.
Project Necromancer connections.
Mhm.
Could get a lot that happens
Kind of
in
were a
season
little
3.
bit. I mean, we are.
Yeah.
We are. What if who we saw in the Bad Batch today, like that? I can't remember his name. What if he was an older version there on the
the-
Shadow Council there?
That Pelion guy or just one of the other random guys?
No, one of the other random guys.
Okay. That could be. Because, there's that mini council there in the finale of Bad Batch
Yep.
with Tarkin
Exactly.
and Krennic and,
Exactly.
those guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
So good. Any last thoughts? Anything else you want to chat about?
Are we just doing one show this week?
Yeah,
Throwing
we
a
are
little
just
bit
doing
of-
one show this
throwing
week.
some little news here at the
Sure,
end. But so we Celebration wrapped up, and there's a weird advertisement for this Galaxy's Edge place that is being built. I don't know. It felt like, are we in 2017? There's this. It looks like it's going to be a cool place. I can't wait to go there when it opens. And then this this Star Cruiser thing that they advertised. That's going to be so cool.
Yeah, Brad was hyped for this panel.
I was too. We all were.
And,
And then it just was a 45-minute long commercial for something that's been around for
I know.
4 years.
Kyle and I had gone to Acme. We bought a couple of things, and then we came back, and it was maybe about 20 or 30 minutes. The panel already started, and I remember starting it. I'm sitting here, and I'm just like, oh, they're telling the Halcyon story.
Yeah, it's like we know.
Oh, shit.
That's another thing, too. This is not at not a convention, but this isn't for people that have never been to Disney World. This is at Star Wars Celebration. The fans watching this panel know just as much as the Imagineers telling the panel.
I know.
Maybe even more in some cases. So why are you showing them a commercial for something that they know everything about?
They should have been signing people up at Celebration for Halcyon Voyages and giving Celebration discounts.
That would have been genius.
It would have been genius.
But like the whole 45 minutes of just telling us Galaxy's Edge stuff that we already know was like, yeah, we know.
Yeah, that was a lot of stuff that's already been out. It was just basically one giant commercial.
Eventually, we got a few cool things, but these should have been like the build-up
Like
to
what?
like a really cool thing at the end. But it was like, Gaia's music's coming out.
Oh, yeah.
That you should have given us a year ago. Cool, thank you. Rex, more music coming out, which is already in the cantina, but now it's accessible.
Now it's
home.
accessible on like Spotify and stuff. Yeah.
And then they like brought out the Mandalorian, who's already been at Disneyland for like almost a year now.
I sent the text to our group. I said, "Oh, Evan's about to be proven right here with the Bo-Katan," because I thought he was about to bring out Bo-Katan. But
should have been what they did, because now, like I said, Mando's been at Disneyland for like a year. He's been here for over a month, and Kitty Sackhoff was just recently advertising Mandalorian in Disneyland's Galaxy's Edge.
You know, we're gonna get Ahsoka eventually.
And and they even said the only cool thing. They're like they said Galaxy's Edge will be getting new characters, and that's it. That was it. You should have said Bo-Katan. You got the costume right there.
I know. Why not? Like, it's so funny. Like, are those characters not fully approved yet? Like,
I don't understand. Like the Ahsoka thing is the same problem that they've been having with a lot. Is just like the custom making the headpieces and stuff.
Oh yeah,
so that makes sense.
That has to.
That's
going
to take a lot of time to develop.
Ass.
But Bo-Katan is the same idea as Mandalorian, just a person in armor.
You're Disney though.
Yeah.
You make the impossible happen.
Sometimes.
Well, for the most
they
part,
used to.
though. They have. I think they have more than they haven't.
Yeah.
Was
that it for the last day?
Star Tours.
Tours. That's something we all predicted.
We're getting the new Star Tours.
They should have at least told us one or two of them to get us more excited.
Well, the reason they said it was because we hadn't seen him yet.
Which is also I like that. But also, you could have done so many more things with places you've already introduced. We could do a Navarro one with Mandalorian and stuff involved. A Mandalore one. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Tie in all your really cool shows you have. You could do something from Andor, maybe like the freaking heist episode, Fly Through the Eye. Is that what it's called? The Eye?
Oh, yeah.
Fly through that on Star Tours. Give us that stuff. And some new ones. I'll take new ones. But like, you could have announced that kind of stuff.
On Aldhani there?
Yeah, the Aldhani one. Fly through that beautiful sky-looking thing.
Yeah, I know. Like we're split on Andor, but nobody can deny how beautiful that show is.
I'm begging for it to be on Star Tours because I like how cool it looked.
That was incredible. Yeah. What else?
They could have done stuff like that. They could have announced a Millennium Falcon mission being added.
And then not in the panel, and I still have yet to watch the Celebration Live interview with Scott Trowbridge and a few others, but they said that they were talking about potential changing up the storyline on the Halcyon in the future.
Yeah, which makes sense, but I would see that being years off.
You would think.
I wouldn't think that'd be right now. Yeah.
Unless they get super desperate. And then they're like, well, now it's in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
And you will be confronted by Darth Vader and a overweight Princess Leia. Kidding. Don't care. But
and then we just got today, I guess, that there's a BD-1 that's being sold.
What in the hell? I just bought BD-72, damn it.
Yeah, so they did that on purpose. Like,
I know they did.
Tom, you love that? How about you buy 2 of them?
Yeah, well, they got me.
They got you. Now I don't know which one I'm going to buy. 'Cause it's like if I got the yellow one, I was going to paint it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I get BD-1, I might just go with it.
Yeah, just go with it.
I don't know. I need to go see BD-1 in person. Because it looks a lot better in the pictures.
It does.
But I need to see it in person.
Me too.
I'll go later this week, grab you one, and then
Thank you.
decide for myself.
Thank you. I don't think we got anything else. Disney's emailed me. Make sure I don't forget my park reservation. I never do, Disney. I'm not one of them people.
But we also don't need them coming soon, so thank God.
Oh, April 18th for us as pass holders. We can go after 2 p.m.
Yes.
That's how I'm going to be able to get into studios on May 4th.
Yeah, I think same, because I don't have one from A4.
Neither do I. I tried to go get it, but they're gone already.
Not surprised.
Now, I bet
The
you
only
if I
one
go
I have
book a
is-
hotel,
Yeah, you could, but is it going to be that important? Like, the Saber won't sell out. Yoda's will be there
you're
all
right.
day.
It won't sell out. You're right. It won't sell out. So, anything else, Mr. Evan? I think we got it.
I believe that's it.
And anything we did miss when Brad's back, we like to cover the bigger things all together, obviously. But today's Mandalorian episode, Evan and I had to sit back and react to it, give you Brad's thoughts. We'll be all over the finale next week. Again, This was our only episode this week. Go check out Fourth Mother Talk 4 that we had, our last episode. Thank you for listening. Again, follow us at Jedi Talk Podcast on Instagram, youtube.com/Jedi Talk. And make sure you use the promo code Kyle's Mom is the best on Blue Chew.
And when Brad gets back, we'll probably have to break this episode down in terms of how many new toys we're going to get from this episode.
Oh, Lord.
So many new Black Series figures and helmets.
That's fine. They're going back to the old packaging. I'm ready to buy them.
I'll buy all these in the new packaging, man.
Let's go.
And give me all these new helmets, too. Yep.
Well, Brad normally says, may the Force be with you. So, Evan, may the Force be with you.
Always. And to Buite.
Rise, Jedi Knight.